Надо делать то же самое, что делал молодой лорд Рамзи, собственно говоря, с пленными.
А я, кстати, знаю эту игру, только я не понял, про что она. То есть это типа песочница, где все возможно. Ну, типа это как Римворлды, это как вот эти вот... вот эта вот игра крепость дворфов, как она там называлась? Dwarf Fortress, по-моему, да? То есть это по типу этих игр.
Fed by other grandpas until they come of age and fed a staple diet of pastured hay to grow old and brittle, at which point I mount them to a wheel of pain to generate electricity, so I can power my lights and watch Sailor Moon. I have a lack of beds, so there's a tower of pensioners stacked on top of each other every night. Each day, my population explodes, as a hot spring incubates faster than an actual womb, and each day it contracts, as I put a for sale sticker on Grandpa's forehead. Legally, I have a license. Morally, I pay the church, in the same fashion as Bill Gates tortures his body double every day to evade karma. As long as I buy a letter of indulgence, I can sell 20 pensioners and still work off my karmic debt. I'm an upstanding citizen. They are untouchables, and I will not reincarnate into a water bug. But first, a message from our sponsor. At Raytheon, we don't just build missiles. We build memories. At Raytheon, we don't just neutralize civilians. We vaporize them. Raytheon. Because it's not just a forever war, it's a forever family. As the successor to Eloda, which I reviewed over 7 years ago, Elin is a sandbox adventure like no other. Build a base, open your mailbox.
Успей заключить контракт, пока Авдеевку не взяли.
Receive spam in the form of a suicide bomber. Cultivate 3 billion crop strains for testosterone. Open a tourist trap and scam them for terrible prices. Deliver vomit and feces for children's birthdays. Poison.
Это типа потому, что игра ломается, да, постоянно. То есть вот эти вот все смешные ситуации с персонажами, сценами, они потому что игра очень плохо прописана, да? Я правильно понимаю?
Unsuspecting
Кто-нибудь играл в эту
townsfolk. Get engaged to your child bride. Send her to be stoned at the gallows. Pickpocket her engagement ring. Marry a slime instead. Play music. Get shot dead because they didn't like your performance. Bake bread by nuking raw flour. Wish for a Glock 17. Receive a railgun. Read Goblin Smut to learn their weakness. Throw your smut in the trash can and make the trash pregnant. Punch a hermit crab for so long it levels up. Enjoy hallucinations. Get cursed. Realize the cursed item you're wearing is made of food and eat it directly from your body. Get jumped by a pack of cows. Comply with their demands and brush their fur.
Ну, короче, эту игру написали сценаристы Саус Парка.
Capture a bomb rock and host it as a parasite. Use its suicide attack to strip mine dungeons. Buy a tent. Use a paper material hammer to turn it into a portable pocket plane. Worship every god. Receive their apostles and artifacts. Abandon every single one of them. Roll a succubus and prostitution max your way to insane stats. Murder someone's son in cold blood. Bake their meat into a rotisserie chicken. Shit out a dream larva and blend it into the food. Feed it to their parent and make them fall in love with you. Make everyone love you so hard you recruit the entire city. Turn the king into a broomstick and ride him as he calls me a fat ass and tells me to lose weight. Whip him until he turns to prostitution. Some may describe Elin as a bizarre Japanese fantasy where you enact outlandish policies such as human rights or a mandate for everyone to wear panties. But that's not fully accurate. It's about paying tax. The karmic weight of missing my monthly tax deadline.
Реально, вот порой в жизни надо просто забыть про права человека и платить налоги.
Is 40 times more serious than unloading an assault rifle on a homeless beggar. This is a fantasy, funded by the IRS and TurboTax. On being asked his intentions for the game, Noah, the developer, had this to say.
I simulate Tokyo Salaryman. You make no money because everybody live to 110-year-old. And then you take your own life. Game costs $20, real good. Game costs $20, real good.
You could be a chaos gene stealer with more hands than limbs. We don't care. Pay the state or suffer the consequences. This game's entire premise is about you getting suckered into owning land by 2 contract killers. Then sucker someone else into 20 million in debt for that same property. There's intrigue, politics, and lore, which you can ignore entirely as you read everyone's death log, which moves very quickly and contains a lot of slurs. Most of them from me, but I prefer this multiplayer, as taking the Moongate to visit a random Japanese base will instantly depress me, as I see his beautiful creation, and compare it to my own O-block ghetto favela. You can even put custom...
Так это ММО, нет?
sprites. Half the time, this is animated smut. This is preferable.
Хотя нет, я просто не могу посмотреть. Я просто смотрю на это, я не могу понять какой-то жанр даже. Надеюсь, это РТС-ка. По типу Кох 2. Поэтому тебе приходится находить все больше способов заработка или проводить на работе больше времени. Да, там налогов с каждым месяцем становится все больше, даже если у тебя имущество становится меньше. Ну окей, то есть это проработанная игра. Или она... Просто в его пересказе это так звучит, как будто игра специально сделана таким образом, чтобы научить тебя нюхать и платить налоги. Больше, больше, больше и больше. И это типа крик такой японской налогоплательщической души. Но давайте будем честны, игра просто плохая, наверное, да? Там просто всратая экономика, да?
To getting one-shot by a death trap the instant you spawn in, or seeing a Boeing
Да, возможно, там бассейны тоже закрыты, потому что спит.
767 approaching two sky.
Тренер, который тебя, ну, должен контролировать во время плавания.
Skyscrapers, or loading into Outer Epstein, which has a one-tile entrance that takes off your clothes. Players will see their options for a pet, and most will pick the little girl. But if I throw a hormone drug in her face, she
Не показывайте эту игру Михаилу Светову.
becomes a little boy. This presents the duality of a player base.
Не показывайте эту игру Теодору Скабрезлости. Скабр, как думаешь, Сет рус... или у него нет просто... Или у него просто много друзей у русов? Я думаю, что если ты интернет-аутист, то до тебя неизбежно в интернете докатывается эхо российских мемов, потому что они довольно-таки забавные. Застал его конфликт с Мандалор Геймингом, тоже рус... Не знаю. Знаю про Мандалор Гейминга, но он мне не нравится, в отличие от Сета Диндача, потому что этот смешнее и поприкольнее. У него видосы какие-то, знаете, вот неприхотливые, вроде бы вот ничего не пытается сказать, но все равно легко смотрится, и при этом вроде бы даже нагрузка какая-то есть. И это в плюс. А Мандалор Гейминг, я не знаю, он какой-то...
Or rest. Look.
Да, знаете, он просто русский. Знаете, вот то, что я только что сказал, что русские мемы там долетают до польского, британского уха, это после этой шутки он просто русский, все. Причем еще фанат Тесака.
This is a setting where the surface went extinct and got repopulated by a cosmic mushroom, whose only reference point for how biology works is Japanese Daojins. That's why everyone lays eggs, because he didn't know any better. Everything is an opaque, esoteric mechanism with poor documentation, which the community abuses and exploits until Noah figures out a hotfix or workaround for their shenanigans. This is ignoring the fact that half a game is designed to troll you. Tick an innocent menu option to auto pick up fish. Die instantly because you picked up a whale. Drink from a water source. Mutate horrifically. Play on permadeath. Slip on a banana peel in the Village of Atonement and lose everything. Get AIDS. Catching Ephor disease is a natural part of gameplay and progresses if left untreated. How do you do that? By playing basketball. To cure your magically inflicted AIDS, you must become Michael Jordan. The casino chips you earn can then be used for higher stakes gambling. This game is a constant gaslight.
Блин, в этой игре даже гемблинг есть. О, господи. Гемблинг, налоги, что еще там есть? GTA 6 за $100. Призыв в армию. Призыв против социальных групп.
I came into this expecting fun. Now I'm paying tax and addicted to slot machines. I hope you didn't take an oath before starting your character, because the blackjack table is rigged. Save scum your way to the cure and live life as normal. There are alternatives, but that requires kidnapping little girls. Memes aside, what is this? It's single-player RuneScape with no level cap, and
Игра плохо прописана, то есть там половина вещей не появляется, и фишка этой игры, наверное, в том, что это типичная японская РПГ с маленькими эльф-девочками и тентаклями.
a crafting system that lets you recreate nearly everything you see. Towns, winter hot springs, beach resorts. You can even
Мне кажется, ли графика меняется?
walk off a shore and build underwater. Everything builds into something, which can be dismantled to make everything else. Material alchemy is an art form.
Это, наверное, когда зумишь, она по-другому выглядит. Там есть прости господи, и можно мужиком работать, ну, как в жизни.
Form, which lets us mine out entire dungeons and turn copper to cocaine. Nothing I say is an embellishment. I throw alcohol at my blue eyes white dragon, have sex with it, and end my turn. Understanding esoteric systems by absorbing every wiki article is the bulk of your experience. You don't have to know Japanese, but they're more informative than the porn-sick groomers that make up this game's English community, which is why they're partitioned away in an apartheid state. For starting off, any race or class is viable, and the possibilities are endless.
You're a fat, ugly Polish whore, or you're, I don't know, Jewish person, you're a black person, you're a piss.
A Wraith Executioner can use mana as a second health bar. Combine this with worshipping Itzpalt or Hiromi, and you have an infinite health bar. Chaos Shape Inquisitor lets you save scum for hours.
Да, Хомлендера показали.
And ask if it's truly worth it, as you enter the void and get soundballed repeatedly. Or, if you're a masochist, you can pick Snail Tourist and put on permadeath. Everything now costs twice as much, but the trade-off is that salt kills you. My Jury Warrior isn't meta. Her perk is
На заметку, молодые, на заметку. Соль убивает.
is always the same. Get stronger by getting richer, so you can get even stronger to get even richer. Material
Да, и заплатить больше налогов.
capital will fuel your physical sociopathy. There's an infinite number of ways to do this, and these are simply suggestions. Invite residents to work your land. Crop rotations for passive income. Grow honey, turn it into wine. Grow mushrooms, turn it into wine. Catch fish, turn it into wine. Get paid a salary because people want
Ну да, как-то так нас Хисус и учил. Да.
to visit. Not for my impressive displays, but because I've stolen incredibly expensive panties from different NPCs. The main way of getting stats is eating food. Thus, our
Вот бы в этой игре еще можно было платить налог с трусов. То есть за каждые приобретенные женские трусы, неважно, законно или незаконно, надо уплатить налог.
only obstacle is our
Я
stomach.
был бы так счастлив.
So, we apply the secret teenage girl technique of vomit maxing. We eat, we throw up, and then we eat even more, as we watch our maid pick up vomit like the peasant she is. It's hard to gauge these values. Luckily, there's a variety of graphical and gameplay mods to augment your experience. Automate tasks and replace sprites with the horniest coon-bait you've ever seen. Ampreg Scott the Woz milking machine? Sign me up. On top of this, the game itself has a lot of quality of life convenience. You can auto-dump your entire inventory, configure resource distributions, and even just Ctrl F to search for anything on the map. Everything is completely customizable. In my case, I've gone off a deep end. See what I'm doing. This is a game of problems and solutions, and dealing with the problems you cause along the way. Mass monsters are a special creature that multiply upon taking damage. There's a spawn limit of 20 monsters entering your base at any time. Taming a mass monster, putting it on the gallows, and sealing its offspring on a set of tiles 10 Z levels higher seemed like a great idea. Until I visited my base again, only to find out everyone is dead. It turns out two of my NPCs are coded to teleport directly to enemies, causing them to split and spill into the base, where everyone is too weak to
Я,
one-shot
кстати, прослушал, что это за враги, что это за NPC.
them. So they infinitely replicate until they fill the entire screen. Conversely, the final boss is too hard for me to kill. By pure chance, I loaded into some Japanese
И даже
guy's
и на стирит есть.
base, which had residents who were level 250,000. They're so high level, they take 30 steps for each of mine, which they spent on gambling, drinking, vomiting, and passing out at high velocity. I fed them aphrodisiacs, and one of them laid an egg. Microwaving an egg has a chance of exploding, which is incredibly funny in the middle of an orphanage. Explosion strength is tied to quality, and this one is
Скабрик, ми-ми-ми, мур-мур-мур. Тебя что, забанить? Забанить?
2,773. I heat the egg and one-shot Inos, my party, and myself. This might seem ridiculous, but the Japanese have already killed him with a beach ball and a banana peel. NPCs hold beach balls in their inventory when thrown at, and this one was modified by several thousand cursed scrolls of flying to weigh 10,000. So, when Ino spawns in and charges, he slips in a banana peel and is crushed to death. The world is your autism playground. Join all the guilds, learn all the skills, whip pensioners on your cotton plantation. It's your fantasy. Now back to work, Cracker. I'm not here to tell you that unless you've got insanely high taming and throw love potions at a spiral king deep in the void so you can feed that breast milk to a chicken so you can genetically engineer him into the strongest creature in the game, that you haven't played the game. There's no win condition, only your creativity. So choose a goal, a direction, or a hyperfixation, and the rest is up to you. For as many turbo-level Japanese hypersweats at level 3 billion in the void, there's just
Докинул еще видик, на часик контента хватит. Там, небось, видео на 5 минут, на которое я буду усираться остальные 55 минут, да?
as many who haven't even left their own base. So rest assured that no matter where you're at, there's some guy who spent his entire playthrough cultivating mushrooms, who has more money than the entire economy. In short, I love Elin. It's a very sweet, beautiful, and calming game that I can't help coming back to. The developer doesn't sleep. He pushes an unstable build every night, and I wish him the very best. There's enough content for several hundred hours, and it just keeps getting better. I thoroughly recommend it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. This video is dedicated to my ops, because I had a script ready after 50 hours, until I saw someone write a critical thesis about my Alona video, took it to heart, and played another free 50. It was only later brought to my attention that the man who affected me so is a barely literate weeaboo who paid thousands of dollars for his cringe OC to be put into the game. He did all this so I could turn his waifu into a burger. A warm thanks to the
Не плачь, Скабрик. Бургер оказался вкусный в конце.
many members of a merchants guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
Ну ладно, это уже кинец. Так, идем дальше.